To get for me for Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody! Come on in. I know most of you are gonna miss my intro, but you can watch it later. Most of you will see it because you're watching it, not live. But yeah. Come on down. You're the next contestant on GR. What's it? GR. The Price is Right. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Come on in. Fun little project here. Fun little sale discount for some of y'all. Come on in. And I think I might explain this a couple times. So I know people kind of come and go, but and a lot of you watch it not live, so it's also good to just come out with what you need to know right now. Right? Well, we have a little overstock of some of our old style of these casseroles. These are baker's casseroles. I think this one probably would constitute more as a baker. I think I would love to see or get some feedback from you serious sourdough or bread bakers. Like, I feel like this would be a nice baker for a loaf of bread that is long and rectangular. Maybe it needs to be a little bit longer. I think shorter would be not necessary, right? Because then you just have more room for the bread to expand. But yeah, so that's my intention of these. And right off the bat, like, these are they're a little bit awkward, as some of you have found out and told me, but it really just is what we have to deal with if we want to get this type of a shape. There's other materials and so forth, and we have our newer versions have a more hollowed out, so they're about about a third less weight, but really, yeah. Great question. The dimensions are 5 inches by 14 inches. And so, yeah, and I'm not expecting an answer right now from the bread makers. Maybe you already know because you know, but the problem with dimensions now is that clay is going to shrink, right? And so I guess I really want people that are making these first or have made them already and can tell me if it worked really well for baking bread. One thing you have to kind of be, another thing, lots of things, that's why we're talking today. But another thing to consider is whether your clay is usable for an oven. And I would say the majority of clays are, but you really need to test them out and make sure that they are before you go make 100 of these and then go to a craft fair and then 30 people come back screaming that their plate cracked the first time they used it. So and it's really not going to be like explosive or create any kind of damage to their oven or anything like that. It's just going to crack, like have a probably completely right down the middle. It's a shock. What's it called? Thermal shock crack, where the expanding and contracting of the clay can't handle that quick change of temperature, and that's all that's going to happen to it. So, but I think most of the clays that I've used, I haven't found one. Well, eventually they all kind of, and I don't know if it's like disuse or you got banged around a couple times while it's hot or while it's cold, which also kind of creates this kind of tension on the clay, fired clay. But I always like looking to the positive, and I always like, just go for it. Just try it. It's not going to go, don't think about how bad it's going to be or like how much it's going to go wrong. You'll never do it. You'll never make it. So have fun. Just make one. You can bake bread on flat ceramic disc. It doesn't matter the shape or size. Yeah, no, guess what I'm kind of asking is like, are these a really good size for like baking? Because what I want to do is I want to make things that are standard use items. Like And our other casseroles kind of fit the standard American standards for these baking dishes, which is a 9x9 and a 9x13 pan. And so they're an inch bigger to kind of accommodate the shrinkage. But yeah. Let's see. I have always heard be sure the clay is if a grog clay for baking. Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody has theories. Then I guarantee that majority of the people that are telling you are talking about how it's not going to work and how they had this experience and that it didn't really work out. So, hi Myra, good to see you. I'm glad I saw you here too. So it's coming soon. We gotta talk. We gotta make some plans for January or February. So yeah, I'll be in touch. So but yeah, so there's all factors, right? And it's all different accommodations. They definitely make clay that is oven clay or ovenware. Like a lot of the bigger manufacturers do that. And so hello Homespun, good to see you as well. Oh, Jessica used B-Mix without grog and no reports of problems. Yeah, and so, I think it's just a common thing. I think we are more worried about what's going to go wrong than what can go right. And so that's kind of my point. Like, just put it in the oven and try it. And the other thing with the whole point of the forms, I'm on my soapbox already here, is that we can make lots of things and don't get so attached to them. Like, make lots, make. So that is the key thing. So then we can try, and then once we have done all that, we can have all these amazing results, amazing benefits to what we've done and what we're making. So it is. Let's see. The 5x14 would be slightly smaller in volume after firing than a 2-pound Pullman low pan. Yeah. See, 4x16. That's what I'm wondering. Okay. So I think the 4 would be good. It might be a little bit short, so it might be just a little bit chubby. It's close, seems like. And that's where I'm curious. So I'm hoping, Natalie, that you have one of these, or find a friend that has one of these that you can borrow or buy one from this super duper sale today, and try it out and bake the 2-pound loaf in there and see if see what happens. I would love to hear your results. And yeah. So yeah. So, and also the big news of these is we're doing 30% off for these older versions. Nothing wrong with them. They're just the older version. The difference is that the top part here, where where it's grooved out and where it's not. But yeah. So yeah. Oh, there's Benjamin. Hello, Benjamin. But looking forward to seeing you soon. But we were just talking about thermal shock with clay, and I mean, also, I think the other fact I shouldn't even, I shouldn't even go here, but there's so many different factors. Even what cycle your kiln is firing at, or what if it's oxidation or reduction. So don't worry about all those things. Just make your pieces and make lots of them and have fun. The more fun you're going to have, the less, the better the results are you're going to have. So, yeah. And it's baking time. It's getting warm. Getting cold. So we need these warm things. Oh, good question. Yes, we do have pie dishes. Yes, pie dishes are a big thing. And if you see me live, usually I make a pie dish. It's my favorite thing to make. But you can definitely, there's round sizes. There's depending on how big of pie dish you want. I would recommend the 11-inch and 9.5 OG rounds for a pie dish. That is a standard. Comes like a standard 10-inch pie plate. That's like up in the U.S. where all the pre-rolled out crust comes that you can buy at the store and makes these magical pies. Right? That would be the standard. So again, thinking about those standards, and so the 11-inch by but you have to get the OGs to make it work. and they will stack with each other. We also have, I don't know if we have them live, we kind of do this time of year, but we have some octagon shapes, which kind of, if you have some fighting amongst your people eating your pie, making sure you have equal slices of pie, maybe the octagon is for you too, because it can segment and separate out all those different pie dishes. So, yeah. So let's see. If you use a ceramic dish in the oven, grog makes it slightly sturdier, but not preheating your oven is the best thing you can do to prevent thermal shock. You're right. Yeah. Because the thermal shock is like where there's significant amounts of temperature when it cools super fast or heats up super, yeah, you know what I'm saying. I got sidetracked on a different thought. Imagine that. But, you know, here's my example. If you have done clay and for a little bit of time, there's a good chance that you have done raku firing. And raku firing is major thermal shock. A lot of times you take a pot that was like, you know, in Fahrenheit, like 1800 degrees. It cools slightly by the time you get to it, but probably like 900 degrees and putting it in water to make it, the water instantly starts to bubble. And so, you know, I've done raku with all different types of clay. They never talk about like these types of things. They just put it in there, right? It's all part of the fun. So yeah, so give it a go, give it a try. I'm highly encouraging it. Oh, yeah, see, octagons are your most used piece. Love the octagons. And see, I think that is this is what I tell people when I do live, so you're getting a little bonus here, but see my little, you gotta see my little tiger. I miss my Korean buddies. But yes. But I think the key is that people will pay more for pie dishes because it's something if they love sharing with other people, they're gonna want to be making. They want pottery, right? They want the best thing to give to their people they're sharing with. So pie dishes are like magical clay items. So anybody out there, you need to sell a little more pottery this fall season, make pie dishes. They will sell fast, guarantee. And pie dishes are really easy to use a potter's wheel too, but to make as well. But yeah, so if you need a little help with, and you're not the best at throwing, using the forms is a great way to do that. So. All right, I've been yapping. Must have had some good coffee today, but let's get to it. So, first stop, rib. Mud tools, yellow, love it. And really, when we are making these pieces, even though I put it in a slab roller, I want to compress. I want to control how those clay particles are aligning with each other, and making sure that they're nice and packed together so that they're going to absorb all that shock. Oh, putting your favorite pie dish on the bottom. Oh yeah. What's your favorite pie? Do you have a favorite? I definitely. Well, I have two. And if anybody can tell me in the next 2 minutes, I will give you a $50 gift certificate if you can tell me my two favorite pies. Now go. What's your answers? So two. There's two of them. And usually if they're both available, I have to have both. So I can't have one or the other. Yeah. So all right. So I have. I'm gonna use the regular one here, and I've made a slab here that if you turn it on ends, boop, boop, you can see that there is some clay left there for the lip. So I got plenty of clay. And on the end, you want even a little bit more so that you can make a handle. So the ends are going to be close. Let me see on this side. This side was really close. I might have to shift it over just a smidge. Or, you know, because this is a lot of clay. So the other thing what we can do is make sure that we can add a handle, because this, you know, it's a lot of clay. Apple, pumpkin, pretty good. Pecan, lemon, pecan, lots of pecan answers. Apple standard. Oh, strawberry, rhubarb. Ooh, that's a good one. Not my close. You know, pecan is a really good guess, but you also have to know that I'm up here in the north, and to get pecans up here is a little expensive. My days in New Mexico, pecan was my favorite, but so that could be third. Although unless it has rhubarb in it, it's definitely up there. Ooh, oh, yeah, cherry and apple. Those are good guesses. But if you know me, like apple is really it's classic. It's a good option, but it. I always have to be a little bit off the path, you know, right? I can't really be right down the middle of the main street. I got to be on the side street somewhere, checking things out. So not apple, not pecan. Lemon also would be a good guess, but again, it's not that available here. So actually, one of the ones I like, which is not available here either. So I shouldn't really be telling you that. That's not a very good valid answer, because it's pretty valid. Oh, here's another one. Cherry and chocolate. Ooh, that's close. That's good. Yeah. Okay, you got 5 more seconds. And I think there's a little delay, so 20 seconds.
There's a few more.
Oh, here we got Shuffly. Never heard that one. That's a good one. You have to tell one that. Apple and berry. Bailey slab roller is great. Yes, you are right. Oh, somebody's maybe asking for. Oh, sorry. Yeah, up the chain. I'm shopping. I'll answer this question, and once I'm done answering the question, that'll be our last chance for guesses. There's a hint that I showed this on Clayshare one time when Jessica and I did like a Christmas like pie thing. Can you scroll down just a little bit again?
Yeah, these ones are doing that.
Yeah, that one on the. Can you scroll that one down just a smidge? Or I probably can't, huh?
Yeah.
Can you read that? What was she asking about slab rollers?
Oh, this.
Oh yeah, that's what I needed. Yeah. I'm shopping for a slab roller for my birthday. Thinking of a Bailey. What do you have, and do you like it? Yes, I think Bailey is premium slab roller in the U.S. Yeah. Close. I better slow down my answer, huh? Let's see. So yeah, Bailey would be my recommendation for slab rollers. Next one, I think there's a North Star, and then Shimpo kind of copied the North Star one, which is really similar. And I think both the large format one is Bailey and small format. I don't know if most of you know, but Jim Bailey was a potter who owns Bailey Ceramics, and the first thing he made that got him going into the supply world is he made slab rollers. So and from a maker perspective, and so and he probably didn't have a lot of money at the time to and maybe not now, but to build, to have a lot of machinery to make these a fancy slab roller. So he made it real, and used the kind of people around him. So yes. So the small one is really good, the mini mite or the bigger one. Okay, so I haven't seen anybody. Their 2 pies are out there in the responses, but I haven't seen the combination. Oh, so close. But the answer is cherry. A lot of people had cherry. And the second one is coconut cream. So one person had coconut cream. Oh man, we'll try another. I like this trivia. So yeah, so next time. Sorry, no clear winners today. Unless I miss you, yell out and scream and shout that I missed you. But I think unfortunately nobody had both of them together. Thank you for your answers. Peanut butter. Oh, peanut butter. That's a high up one too. Yeah, that's probably my dad's favorite. Oh yeah, we could talk about pie all day long, right? Pie.
Myra says her favorite is pineapple.
Ooh, that does sound good. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but you know, I went to this coffee shop one time, and here locally, it's it's a little ways away. It's by the lakeshore, and they had a cheesecake that had pineapple, and the crust was Oreo. It was like Oreo crust pineapple cheesecake. Oh man, I still dream about that. But something about the cream and pineapple, it just kind of goes so well together. So if you want a little experiment, and so this is what people think I'm crazy. So like when I order like an ice cream that has toppings in it, I sometimes will order cookies, like Oreo cookies and pineapple to go into my flurry, or my blizzard, or my concrete mixer, or whatever you want to call it. So mix up, you know, type of thing. So yeah. Hello, Jerry. I like. Oh yeah, Sherry. Yes, 100%. I agree. Although I have to admit. Ooh, I forgot to do one thing. See, I'm so busy talking about pie, so distracted. Let's flip this back over. And this is what are these having two light boards that be good for is being able to flip it over. Ooh, I hope I have. I don't. If I have this little ruler here, that will work. What I forgot to do is it's really easy to kind of remove some of this, remove some clay. I'm going to remove some of this clay from the corner here. And maybe I'll leave just a little bit. I'm going to make a line. And then I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut on an angle. And these are just tricks that every time, you know, as you make them, you start to, if you make them one at a time, and you make 10 of them in one setting, you're going to learn a lot from that one setting, right? So, get to it. And just, you know, that's how I do things. There's no, like, master plan, some book, some video from this guy from GR Pottery that's going to help me. I just got to figure it out. And yeah, and you know, you spend a lot of time something and you do it wrong, I guarantee that you will try to figure out a way to do it differently the next time. Right? So give yourself a little extra clay, cut on an angle, try the one side versus the other side. Jessica, when these first came out and had this video, my good buddy Jessica, she made them where you could overlap the edges like a present. I think that's a really good way to do it too. So I'm just making these lines. You can probably see that hopefully. And then one of them I'm going to cut outside of the line, so I have a little extra clay to work with. And then I write them down the list. You know, I think back to the my father-in-law got mad at me one time for like claiming that almond flavor tastes like cherry. But I disassociate, and I think it is. I think almond flavoring really enhances the flavor of cherry. So I relate those two together, like as a family, and but so if it's got some almond flavoring and cherry, ooh, yeah. We have a lot of cherries in Michigan, so it's a really popular item, really available, and we have all varieties. You know, sweet ones that you eat by themselves in the store, to the ones you make that are a little more sour that you make pies with. So here we see we got it draped over here. I haven't made one of these in a little while, so here is a classic example that, you know, if you push down here, it's going to really stretch this clay out, right? So what I want to do is I want to kind of push this clay almost from the outside, and this is what I'm trying to explain when I'm on all the pieces where I start from the outside and push in. So if you're having some cracking along these edges, it's probably because that you're squishing really hard down here really quickly. So start to push from outside, and you kind of want, because you're really trying to keep this strip of clay nice and thick, and try not to stress that part of the clay. I don't know if you can see from the top here. Maybe we'll do a top one for the, so you can see how it's like pushing the clay, how it's pushing it right towards the form. And by doing that, it left all this clay right up here on the top. You can almost see like it's a little edge there. See if we can do this here for. So see how this edge. So now if we push from the bottom towards the form, look at that. It really kind of keeps this clay all unstressed. So that's why you want to make sure too, probably, that this clay is not stuck. You want to unstick that before you kind of move everything forward. And it really will help you to, and so I hope by this little live here that maybe those that have bought these and struggled with these, that this is your give it a try again. This is casserole time, baker time. Get it going. Do you have tips to prevent the casserole from warping? A little thicker clay, and then lots of compression. And this next part is very critical to what I'm talking about, that compression. So now, what I want to do is I want to push and squeeze these edges together. And I did pretty good with, I think pretty good with figuring out how much it needed. Same thing, kind of go along this edge, kind of maintaining that thickness of the clay, right? That's the critical part. Squeezing in here. And there, see, I just pushed, I don't know if you could see that, but I just kind of pushed this into here, into this crack. I'll do it again on this side. And I may need to add a little more clay there, but just for this thicker clay, we have a lot of room for, we got a lot of extra clay around. So see, here's the thing. I probably should start over here. And look, I'm just going to shove this clay right here. Squeeze that seam together, push a little clay from the outside, It's gonna make a little seam underneath there that we'll have to fix when we flip it over. But we can do that. So first I'm gonna make sure all these seams are nice and compacted and in good shape. But what you're trying to think about and feel is trying to keep that slab all consistent, all thick throughout. So, oh yeah, somebody says wakeboard. I'm not. That's a people get them to do that, but yeah, it's definitely a problem I think that you have to kind of solve, and so how you solve that in your space is good. For me, I'm kind of watching it. I'm having on one side or the other. Compression is first off the main thing, but then second is like how this piece is drying, because the majority of warping comes from, I think it comes from two places. One is you overstress it in the making process, and two, that the drying is uneven or irregular. So kind of holding in place, like talking about using weights, could help in those situations. But I think by just moving the piece upside down or right side up is a really big factor. Also, having a little bit of clay on the outside also helps, because if it's straight up stiff, makes it look really thin and kind of janky. I don't know what the right word is, but if you want to, I would try to build up that rim with this coil or whatever to kind of hide that thing. Or in this case, what I'm going to do is just going to have some clay on the outside. So. Thickness of the slab. Yeah, good question. I like everything around 1/4 of an inch, but for these I'm doing a little closer to 3/8, which is about, I think 1/4 is like, where's my little thing? Cheat sheet. Sue Tool cheat sheet. It's got this little guide on here. I guess it's only like 1.5 centimeters is typically what I like, but this could be almost a little under 2 centimeters. So what is that, like 18 millimeters, 17 millimeters, or in English or in imperial, it's about almost 3/8. I've been trying to come out with some thickness strips for folks, but I haven't made yet. But and I think that would be ideal. The reason I want this to be thicker is that it'll hold the heat better for baking, and that's really what we're going for. Like, it'd probably be almost impossible to burn the bottom of your bread in a pretty thick ceramic dish. Is that accurate out there, bread bakers? A lot of times bakers will, in commercial bakers, they'll put it right in the fire, right on the shelf of the oven. Or I wish, that's one thing I've always wanted to learn more about and experiment with more. I just haven't had the opportunity to. But maybe by having a nice baking dish would encourage me to do that, right? So, but to make different types of bread. I know there's one where I think it's called like Easy Knead, where you pretty much just put it in a pan and then has some sort of moisture that kind of makes the outside crispy and the inside nice and soft. Yeah, all kinds of fun. The one thing I think that's hard with these is adding texture to the outside, because we're manipulating the clay a lot, and so I think what you need to do to make these have good texture is use stamps. Hey, Sister Stacy, how are you? You're here to pick on your big brother? Just kidding. Nice to see you. Glad you're here on this Friday of Halloween. So I'm going to use this stamp here. You know, and usually we'll just use the snowflake one. It's one I have close here, and it's also kind of nice representation, because usually we want warm things when there's snowflakes outside. So yeah. So man, it's been a crazy year, and just how it's worked out, and I've developed all these friends and business partners in Europe, and so next week I'm going back to Europe again. Is it crazy or not? Like, so if you're in Lyon or Belgium, I'm going to be doing some demos in Lille. Did I say Lyon? Not Lyon. In Lille this time. Northern part of France, and really close to the Belgian border. So I'm going to be doing some demos on Wednesday and Thursday, Wednesday evening, and then all day kind of Thursday. So if you're in the area, check it out. Maybe if Jenny or Delaney could put the Seagal for me, the location, the website on there, that would be great. And then I am going to visit my buddy Agnes at the Pot Ambassador. Not doing any demos this time. We're both too busy, but hanging out with her for a couple days, because she's right on my way to the next stop. And the next stop is Ceramic Craft, which is one of the largest. It is the largest clay supplier, tool supplier, ceramic supplier in Germany. It's in near Nuremberg. So I am going there. So I'm going to be there. They have this lovely open house. It's unbelievable. They have this nice little German cafe they set up in their studio with pie, pastries, and they do an amazing job of thanking their customers with some projects from manufacturers and discounts, I'm sure. But that'll be the next week, like the 15th through the 17th, I think. Wednesday, let's see, no, it's I'm arriving on Wednesday. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So yeah, so if you're in Bavaria near Nuremberg, you should come visit, come say hi. And yes, I'm also going to go visit. You know, if you need a good bucket list thing for your Christmas list, I'm going to check out, which is also really close to Agnes, is Clazy. So maybe you can put that on there too, Clazy. Clazy Fest is going to be in August of next year. So I'm going to go check out the location there. It's going to be their first year, so it's always just nice, since I'm so close, just to get a lay of the land and understand what's happening there, to make the best of my experience when I'm going to be there in August. So, but yeah, that is it's kind of a premium event. They're going to have all these premium artists that are coming from Korea, from England, from the U.S. Adam Field is the one big American potter that's going to be there. There's another American one. I don't know him very well, so I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But Yes, so Clay Z Fest. It's going to be in Belgium. Oh, apricot kuchen. Yeah, yeah. All right. That seems very familiar. I'll have to try it. You're gonna be gonna come visit this year. So yeah. So now we got this one side kind of taken care of. Oh yeah. Yeah. Always looking out for the girls over here, aren't you, Stacy? Hee hee. Oh yeah, looky. So this is a critical part here. Like you can really tell, like you know what we need to do, and the advantage is that it's got this. So here's where somebody talked about this warping. The one part that I have problems with the warping is that it kind of flops a little bit, but I would definitely. That's really compression. So pushing this in right now is really a good thing. All right, so here are those little edges. So I'm just going to add in a little clay. As opposed to kind of, in this case, it's a gap. So I don't want to take clay from around it and push it in. I want to add some clay to fill that gap. And just dabble it in there. And it doesn't have to be so perfect at this point. The one thing you want to do, make sure, is that it's compressed in there really well, and so it's attached nicely. Attached enough. There it is, hiding under my. So I might just use my little modeling tool to kind of just clean that up. And so the actual surface part is not as much of a concern right now as the construction part. So we want to make sure that we are constructing this well. And you can see too, like I'm not adding slip or scoring. I'm just using clay that's the same moisture content to fill that gap. And then we'll have a lot less problems with we won't have warping problems because of that stress with moisture that could occur. Yeah, so just kind of blend that in. All right, so now we're at a point where we want to lift this up, make sure, and do this kind of gently, because again, we don't want to like stress that clay. So if we can just do it gently, and now we can just lift up. Oh, this brings me to a good point where we are not gluing these now. We've had we can't do it quite perfectly, so they come loose, and so if you want them to be stuck together, you can just get some glue from your hardware store, wood glue, and use a clamp and clamp those together. Part of the reason we are not gluing them, one is we can't do it 100% perfect. The second is that you may want to just use one layer, or you may want to add a third layer. And so if we glue these together, there's not that option of extending or subtracting layers. Yeah, just to let everybody know that up front. But it's really easy just to glue it yourself, and then you know how strong. You can spend a little more time, but for me to do it, it would be not cost effective. So yeah, and it's just an expectation. This clay is quite thick, but just kind of be a judge in this case, because in the inside here, where that seam came together, again, there's a little gap. So it might even be a little more productive to add clay in there, right? But I typically just cheat. So you gotta just know when to cheat and when not to cheat, right? And you know by how much, if it cracked or not. But definitely a better idea to add clay as opposed to try to take it from somewhere around it. So I'll just make this little coil. And what I'm trying to do is just fill those gaps. And if there's a little extra clay on top, that'll scrape right off when it's leather hard. But I wouldn't, the thing is you don't really want to manipulate the clay too much right now, because what can happen is it'll start to stress out those edges, and then we'll get, that's one of the factors of warping, right? That stress. And so it'll, so try to do a little less as possible. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because it's about 2 inches. Only problem is that this lip is a little less than 2 inches. Yeah, so there. My feeling is that having this interior support and structure to press against is vital. And then after that, I don't really want to use props and support, so if possible. So really, theoretically, if I could make another form that was maybe a 1/4 inch smaller in all sides, I would put that back in there, or maybe even a 1/2 inch, because it's going to shrink so much, but to kind of keep that support. But yeah, so, but again, I think that's personal thing of what you need to do in your space to kind of make that work. For me, I think I want to try to find out a way for that clay. It's like parenting. Everything's like parenting. You know, those kids have got to have a good foundation and a good structure to be able to support themselves. The more the parents support them, the less, the more wobbly they are, or the more likely that some problem is going to happen. So same with clay here. Like, I think it's just a matter of trying to construct and build, and that is, so it might be just how you're treating the clay that creates that warping. And to solve that is the more you make stuff, the more you figure out those tricks, right? Same way with somebody that makes pies. The best pie makers are the ones that make hundreds of pies, right? And because they've definitely made bad pies. It's just we're not. They've just made so many pies now that we don't see those mistakes. So if you're having difficulty, it just means you got to make more. Spend more time in your studio. Oh. Don't inflate Lisa. Don't inflate Stacy's ego too much with telling her she's brilliant. I don't know. That causes problems. I don't know if you didn't know. Oh yeah, right. See, everything, and I'll say the universe. You know what I mean. But I think that's why the universe makes us all parents, and we'll learn how to do those types of things. But more of it is really just, even in parenting, is if you constantly think about what's going to go wrong, you'll never have a good experience. Because things are going to go wrong, for sure. So that is the fun of life, and maybe this is why we do pottery. As I always like to say too, it's That's the one example. Solitaire, because if you don't, you know that you lose a lot more than you win at solitaire, but people still keep playing it, right? Why do they keep playing it? They lose more than they win. So there's something about that failure factor that is part of the equation. And so, yeah, and so this anticipation of trying to do it right. So, yeah. All right, so I am pretty well set with this for right now. A little bit of moisture underneath that would steam, and you could probably keep adding a little more moisture as you're baking. So I don't know. Think about all these fun things that you can experiment with, and you're gonna fail, but somebody will eat that failure bread. Yeah, it's probably just that it doesn't look pretty, but it's all good. It's all, and because what people really want is that the joy that you put into it and the joy that you give when you're sharing it with somebody. So focus on that. Focus on that joy. You're a brutal little brother. Yeah. Yeah, and just share the love, whether it's picking on somebody or in love or yeah. Yeah, I don't know, Lisa, that's a good time to try. Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing? Nothing better than warm, fresh bread, right? Oh, it's another, another weighted bag trick. I don't know what it is about me, but it's just too much fussing dealing with weighted bags. I know some of you guys are so good at it and use them really well, but for me, I could never get the weighted bags to work. So what I do is just kind of flip the form around back and forth to to kind of control that drying time. Oh, Sherry, good question. Okay, so the old versions are 30. There's 60 of them. So they we have a limited supply, and they are 30% off, and it's an automatic discount. I'm hoping, and it should be. Let us know if you don't. Oh yeah, there we go. Perfect. It's in the chat there, on Facebook and Instagram, probably YouTube as well. But yeah, it's automatically at checkout. So I think these are, I want to say around 40 typically. So they'll be under 30, like $27, $28. So we do have a little, probably featuring the other casseroles, and they probably will be a sale later on in the year, but we're giving a little extra discount just because of these, just the top is slightly different. So we're cleaning out the old version of them. They made a bunch of extra ones than we wanted, and here we have them. So your opportunity to get a good deal and buy some of these ones as well. Hello, Betty. How are you? Oh, I bet you're having a fun time over there in North Carolina. You have a happy. I always want to say Thanksgiving for some reason during Halloween, because it's so close, I guess. Have a happy Halloween for sure. Maybe I shouldn't even say it, but I was so surprised. I was talking with Gretchen about the plans, and she's like, "Oh, everybody's gonna be gone. You can go to the warehouse if you want." And I'm like, "What? Okay. I might just be here at the warehouse making pots and packing my bag for next week." So yeah. Rabbit loves we can ship. I know that's the thing. In the discount will hopefully dilute the cost of crossing the border, and it's so unfortunately unpredictable what that cost is of crossing the border. Sometimes it goes right through. Sometimes they make you pay an extra $20. I think it's based on a percentage, but yeah, it's not. Oh, Sherry says it's not giving a discount. We'll check it out. it definitely won't let you use other discounts too, but it should. Thanks for letting us know, though. We'll make sure that that's working correctly. So, all right, everybody. Well, I hope you have a safe and fun weekend and enjoy this fall time of year. I love it, and yeah. Hopefully see you all down the path, and we'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the time in the studio, and make sure that you're having fun. You know, worrying about what's going to go wrong is not fun. Bye, everyone. Take care.